So looking at that, we'll close out of that and we'll do one more thing. So those are the and we don't want to spread that. Those are the takeoff methodologies that we have within the system. Of course, for most customers out there, it does start off with receiving PDF plan sets and doing takeoff from there. So like I said, I do a whole session on that. But let's touch on some of the concepts that it brings to the table, and so you can see it. Pretty powerful stuff. And I actually have to open it up. So let's go ahead and have takeoff open. So a couple things to mention about the solution is reads PDFs in their native format. So none of this conversion to TIFF files. So you get a very clear, crisp, clean lines that you can see within the solution itself. The other thing is it's a multi-user environment where I could have 5, 8, whatever, as many individuals hammering on this same page at the same time. Multiple detailed scales on one page. So if you have multiple scales on one page, typically the detail pages, those types of things, this accommodates that. Makes it very easy for you to work with. A lot of audit trail capability as well. They can show us the takeoff and who's done what as far as that takeoff is concerned. But let's focus in on what I brought you over here to see, so you can take a look at this and see how we've seamlessly integrated this with our estimating. And I say we, that's the all-inclusive we. I didn't really do it, but I love taking advantage of saying I did. So when you look at this, though, we've got all of these particular slabs is what we're calling them, but think of it as flooring, subflooring, whatever it may be that you're taking off. That's an area right here. What I want to do is open up the bridge. So what the bridge does is this. It gives us the opportunity to, of course, see our database over here. We've been talking about, of course, all the takeoff methodologies over there, items, assemblies. Models not included in that at this point, but probably something will happen in the future there. But when I look at this right here, this is my database. So for those of you that start off with plans, you're doing takeoff from plans, we can go in here, and it doesn't have to be anything that's quantifiable on the plans. It could be my project manager was out here for 10 months. I'm going to send that to the estimate. I'm going to cost that out right from here. Then we look at assemblies. Of course, assemblies being those multiple items working together to complete a task. And looking at this, these are the specifications or the attributes or what we call variables, right? Kind of mentioned it a couple times. But when we look at this, we have those coming from estimating, and then these are the items that we're generating down here. Now, let's take advantage of what we've done here. We've spec'd out and taken off these slabs. Well, in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this guy over here, and he's going to have those variables, specifications, already completed. Now, when you look over here, these are the specifications from the takeoff that we've done. What we have done is map these together. So every project moving forward will be ready to go, and we can automate this process even further. One other thing I will mention to you, we are embracing BIM with this solution as well. So when you're looking at Navisworks or other CAD solutions, at this point we're working with Navisworks and Assemble, but we're going to bring the 2D and the 3D world together in one place so we can cost those out very quickly, very efficiently. But I'm going to stick to task here because we are running short on time. So when we look at this, I'm going to generate this to the estimate. A couple things that you look at here. Now I can go review. I can see what I've sent over to the estimate because we get calls, we've got to get meetings, we've got so much stuff that we've got to do. We get distracted. We want to know where we've been and what we've done. In this case, what we can do is we can see that we sent this to the estimating, but we can also hide the things that we sent over as well. So one last scenario for you here, and then we'll get into the automatic, and then we'll probably close out for the day. So I promise keeping it within the 45 to 55 minute range there. Let's say, for instance, we get this change to this slab for whatever happens to it. Kind of that weird looking shape right there, but if the customer wanted it, we're going to change it. In this case, what we'll do is we'll change the specifications and we'll put that information in there. Now, keep in mind, those specifications can be anything that you want. We've kept it very easy for demonstration purposes, but it really literally can be anything that you want to can be as far as those specs, those attributes, those variables are concerned. I've made this change. I want a system that's going to accommodate the change and tell me when those changes have happened right there. So it could have been a different individual. I come out here and I can see those changes, or it could be me and I've just refreshed it. I want to update the estimate based upon those changes. I double click on this guy. Here's the original. Here are the new changes. I want to send this to the estimate and keep it up to date, relevant. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll make this changed in the demo. We're going to put in notes as well. I won't bore you with additional notes, but you could type forever there. My 30 words per minute aren't that impressive. So when we look at that, I'm going to say, okay, send this to estimating. Now it's got that old pencil's gone, and it's updated. Now let's take it to let's take it up a notch. My favorite saying during these presentations. Why? Now that the system, I'll get to the why of it, but now that the system has been mapped and knows what these traces are, because those are traces out there, why not have the solution go out and find the other takeoffs that we've done? Matter of fact, just to prove a point and kind of drive that home just a little bit, let's go into one more thing here. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go to a trace, and let's see where that guy is. He's right here. I'm not going to be perfect on this, guys. So when we put that in there, I'm going to put the description. I'm going to say Darren did this. Put my name in these demos as much as possible, and then we'll go ahead and enter the specs. Say OK. Now, if I refresh that, now what it's going to do is it's actually going to go out and find Darren did this. So just to kind of drive that point home, but think about future projects where I use this now, and it'll just automatically find those for me and give me the capability to review them. And then with the click of a button, cost them out. So we'll finish up over in the estimating. I'll go find the estimate that I tied that to. And now we've taken off all those items. Of course, we will combine all of them so that they are all nice, tight, and wrapped up there for us. But when you look at that, now I've costed all those particular items out. I can go to my assemblies, and let's minimize this. There's my change during demo. There's my project manager that I costed out for this. Let's go into review. Let's go into my audit pass. Here's the original. There's the changes, and there's the new relevant variables or answers to those specifications that are driving those costs to the estimate. Now, Darren changed this during the demo, and we have an audit trail. So we can see all of that information very easily. One last thing when you look at this. When you're over there doing your takeoff, you might want to break it out by location. So there's the Darren did this. Now we can see that information, or we can see where all those are. Now, of course, our project manager, we didn't have him assigned anything, so we could move him up to section 5 if we wanted to. But now we have a complete audit trail from our digital takeoff with a seamless integration that will be with 2D and in the future, and I don't mean too far in the future, 3D as well. So pretty powerful stuff, and One other thing I'll show you. I'm not going to show it to you, but at least we'll dive into it here. I right-click or I hit this button, it will take me back to where this takeoff is. So now we have an audit trail on the way over and an audit trail on the way back. Pretty powerful stuff. I know I threw a lot at you guys today, but it's one of those things where, have I scratched the surface? Yes, but there's still more to go if we had time.